Hey Ronan,
Morning, how you doing?
good. How are you?
I am good. Got my coffee in, ready for some yoga, all happening.
Coffee and yoga, a good combination.
Exactly. Someone should start a hoodie-based brand with, something like that on it.
No workouts this morning.
No workouts this morning. No, I had a lie in. I'm not gonna lie.
Very good.
Got up at quarter past 10. How bold. So you're still in the studio for now, but you're back teaching next week. Is it next week? That's the 23rd, isn't it?
Next Sunday, isn't it? We're doing the yoga
Next Sunday. Look, I don't know what date is what anymore. So if you say it's next Sunday, I believe you.
Teaching like a live class with real people.
Yeah, it's going to be real awkward. It's weird.
I think it will actually.
Yeah.
It'll bring
Could be a
back
bit different.
I used to have when the first classes I used to teach. And I think a lot of teachers actually had a lot of fear around teaching online.
Yeah.
And then now we've got used to this. It's going to be really weird going back to the old way.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of like yoga and Pilates teachers I was speaking to were saying that they're really nervous about teaching online. I was like, but why?
I'm really surprised actually by some of my friends who are teachers that were really reluctant. They're teaching now online, but they were really reluctant to do it for a while.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is. I'm not sure.
People have a thing about camera. Like, I've used it for years for like sales jobs. So I was always just like, normal. I had no problem with it. But people have a thing about the camera.
I think it's that thing that live classes are fine. I think teachers, in some classes are being recorded for studios and people can keep playing them back. I think teachers get more nervous about that then because it's out there. And if you make any mistakes or anything, they're there for everyone to see.
I know, but we're all imperfect, and that's what makes us perfect. So that's okay.
So you guys starting classes from Monday?
Starting tomorrow, yeah. So we had two venues that originally agreed to let us use them, Donnybrook and up in Rathmines. So Rathmines is open, but then Donnybrook had issues just with the logistics because they're only opening the small hatch in the gate of the club. So they're like worried about people coming in and out and stuff like that. So they said that they wanted to wait till phase 2 for the second location. But there's about 3 or 4 other locations in and around there that we were speaking to that we're still trying to get something open in the next couple of weeks. So hopefully we can get something before June 8th. But the Rathmines spot is brilliant. Like, it's not too far from Donnybrook either. Have you ever been down to Leinster Cricket Grounds?
No, I've seen it. I haven't been in there. Yeah, I know where it is.
It's a really, really nice little spot. So we'll be on the cricket pitch there because cricket season isn't starting for another while. So it's just, it's really nice grass, really nice views and stuff like that. Loads of space, so everything can be far apart and stuff. So it'll be good. And it's kind of like a nice little private ground as well. So there's not like many people around and stuff. So it'll just be
very good. Let's hope the weather's kind to us.
It's supposed to be good next week, and then obviously it's Ireland, so it'll probably get bad at some stage. As soon as we're allowed back out, it has to get bad. That's how it works over here. Yeah.
Right, shall I make a start?
Yeah, it's 11 o'clock there, so let's kick off, and I'll let anyone else in who joins a little bit late.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, so morning everyone. My name's Sarah. If I haven't met you before, you're very welcome. Oh, drop the phone. That's not a good start. Great. So we're going to be working a little bit with the shoulders in today's class. So first of all, we're going to come to a seated position. So just coming to sit in Sukhasana, easy pose, cross-legged. And if you have a cushion or a block, you want to sit on the very edge of the cushion. Just helps you to give it a little bit of lift out of the hips. So just finding a comfortable seat here. And then just gently closing the eyes down. You can either bring the palms of the hands to rest on the knees, or bring the backs of the hands to rest on the knees, whichever feels most comfortable for your shoulders. And so wherever your focus has been this morning, just taking these first couple of minutes just to bring that focus back to yourself. Just beginning to check in with how you're feeling this morning. So just noticing how your physical body's feeling. If you have any spots where there's any tension or tightness, just acknowledging where those are in the body. And just noticing what your energy levels are like today. And slowly beginning to draw your focus to your breath. So without trying to change the breath, just noticing where the breath is in your body. So noticing if you're having a tendency to breathe into the upper chest or into the belly or into the rib cage. Just noticing where you're breathing. So we're going to practice something this morning called Ujjayi breath. So Ujjayi breath, it doesn't come easy for beginners. So we're just going to have a little go with it today. So I want you to take a nice deep inhale, and when you exhale, just open the mouth and go. Just taking these first few rounds where you're inhaling through the nose and exhaling out through the mouth. So that noise that you're creating out through the mouth is like you're trying to steam up a pane of glass. Now with our Ujjayi breath, what we do is we close the mouth. So we still make that noise or that sound or that sensation in the back of the throat. So it's a little bit, it's called also an ocean breath. So a nice deep inhale. I don't know if you can hear me now, but it's also called, it's a little bit like Darth Vader. So it's just bringing the breath to the back of the throat. So just having a little play with that now and seeing if you can do that. So taking nice deep inhales and nice long exhales. So it's actually a really slow breath. So just taking a couple of more rounds like this and making sure that you're taking those inhales down to the belly. And then just beginning to let go of that breath now, just allowing your breath just to return to its normal rhythm. That might be the first time that you've been introduced to Ujjayi breath. So don't worry if you don't get it today. It took me a long time to get that breath. So just taking another nice deep inhale now as you find that length in the spine. And as you exhale, just drawing that right ear down to the right shoulder. Just finding that nice length at the left side of the neck. Next inhale, just drawing back to center. And then exhaling that left ear down to the left shoulder. Just find that nice stretch on the right side of the neck. And then inhaling all the way back to center and exhaling the chin down towards the chest. Just finding that length now at the back of the neck. And on the inhale, just beginning to lift the chin and just gently beginning to open the eyes. You can stay seated on your cushion for the moment if you like. We're just going to interlace the fingers and just place them at the back of the head. So we're going to come into some seated cat-cows here. So we're going to take a nice deep inhale. As we do, we're drawing the chest forward, drawing the elbows back, and bringing our chin up towards the ceiling. And as we exhale, beginning to draw the chin to chest as we round the spine, bringing the elbows together. As you inhale, drawing the chest forward, the elbows apart, sliding those shoulder blades towards each other, as you draw the chin to sky. And as you exhale, beginning to tuck the chin in towards the chest as you round the spine, drawing the elbows together. So just going at your own rhythm of breath here. You don't need to come at the same time as me. So on the inhale, just opening up. And on the exhale, we're contracting. Just seeing if you can keep that breath coming in and out through the nose. And we're just slowly beginning to warm up the spine and just noticing how the spine is feeling today. By doing these warm-ups, we just begin to notice where we're holding any tension or tightness. We'll make this our last one. And then exhaling the arms down. Lovely. So we're going to do a couple of more shoulder exercises here. So just bringing the legs out in front. And then you're going to bend that right knee and draw the right knee over the left. So you're stacking that right knee on top of the left. And the outside edge of the right foot is lying on the floor. So just make sure you don't have the whole sole of the foot on the floor like this. You're bringing the side of the foot onto the floor. Now, if this feels enough for your hips, you can stay here. If you want to come into the full version of Gomukhasana, then just beginning to bend that left knee, drawing that heel in towards the hip. So just making sure that you're on both sit bones here. If you feel like you're lifting on that right side, you can just place a blanket or a cushion underneath that right hip. Lovely. So find that length again in the spine. You're going to bring that left elbow into the center of the chest, bringing that right underneath the left, and taking hold of the opposite hand. Now, if you can't take hold of the hand, you can just bring the backs of the hands together, just gently closing the eyes down, and drawing the focus to that space between the shoulder blades. It's a space where a lot of us tend to hold a lot of our tension. Then if you can just breathe a little deeper into that space. As you're continuing to breathe, you're just drawing those elbows away from the upper chest, just beginning to broaden out across the back. The next inhale, you're going to bring fingertips to sky, just find your natural range of motion here, no forcing. And on the exhale, bringing the elbows back down. We'll do that one more time. Inhaling, fingertips to sky. And exhaling back down. Lovely. Releasing the elbows now. We're going to inhale, fingertips to sky, drawing those arms alongside the ears, palms facing towards each other. And as we exhale, we're going to turn to our right. So you're bringing the back of that left hand to press against the right leg, bringing that right hand behind. We're coming into our first twist, taking some nice deep belly breaths. And on the exhale, just releasing all the way back to center. Just bringing those legs out in front, give them a little shake. And then we'll do that on the opposite side now. So just bending that left knee this time, bringing that left knee over the top of the right knee, and the edge of the left foot is pressing into the floor. So again, you can stay here with that right leg extended, or you can bend that right knee, drawing that right heel in towards the hip. So one side might feel a little different than the other. This side feels a little awkward for me compared to the other side. So just noticing how that feels for you. And then we're going to bring that right elbow into the center of the chest, bringing that left elbow underneath and taking hold of the hands. So coming into our eagle arms. Just gently closing the eyes down, breathing a little deeper into that space between the shoulder blades. And as you continue to breathe, just drawing those elbows away from the upper chest, just broaden out across the upper back. Your next inhale, you're going to bring fingertips to sky. Again, no forcing here, just following your natural range of motion. And on the exhale, releasing the elbows back down. Doing that one more time, inhaling fingertips to sky. And exhaling back down. Lovely. Releasing the elbows now and inhaling fingertips to sky, bringing the arms alongside the ears again, finding that length in the spine. And as you exhale, you're going to turn to your left this time. So you're bringing the back of that right arm to press into that left leg, bringing that left arm behind. Taking some nice deep belly breaths. If you can breathe a little deeper into the back body as well. Lovely. And then releasing back to center. Just releasing the legs, give them a little shake. And then in your own time, you're going to make your way into tabletop. So just coming onto all fours. Just taking a moment here just to make sure that the wrists are underneath the shoulders and the knees are underneath the hips. We're going to do another pose here for our shoulders, our extended puppy pose, also known as melting heart pose. So we're going to keep the hips, really important that we keep the hips stacked over the knees. And we're going to draw the hands as far forward as you can without moving those hips. Once you've walked the hands out, you're going to draw the chin or the forehead down to the earth. If it feels too strong to be on the chin, you're going to bring the forehead down. Just seeing if you can breathe a little deeper into that space between the shoulder blades. This stretch is a really good one if you're holding any tension in the shoulders. Two more breaths here. Next inhale, you're going to press into the forearms as you lift the chin of the forehead and just walk the hands back underneath the shoulders. So we're going to come into our first downward facing dog here. So making sure you've got lots of space between those fingers and you're pressing into the finger pads as well as the corners of the hand. You're going to tuck the toes under, push those hips back towards the heels and up towards the ceiling. And just gently beginning to walk and pedal out through the feet. Just bending one knee at a time. Noticing how those calf muscles are feeling today. Lovely. And then just beginning to find some stillness now in your downward facing dog. So bringing that gaze back to the ankles. If you can push the earth away, drawing the chest back towards the upper thighs. And drawing those heels down towards the earth. Taking a nice deep inhale through the nose. And slide it out through the mouth. One more, let that, a nice deep inhale. Letting everything go on the exhale. Lovely. We're going to walk the hands back now towards the feet. So coming into our forward fold. So feet are hip distance apart, nice generous bend in the knees. And you can just bring the backs of the hands to rest on the ground. So the whole of the upper body is nice and heavy. Nice, just hanging nice and loose like a rag doll. So you can even nod or shake your head just to make sure you're not holding any tension in the neck. So bring your gaze back between the knees. We're going to do another shoulder stretch here. You're placing the whole of the backs of the hands onto the ground. So you have to really bend the knees here so that you want the backs of the hands up to the wrists to be touching the ground. And you're going to lift up the ball of the right foot, so you're on that right heel, and slide that right hand underneath the right foot. So the toes come all the way up to the wrist crease. Same on the left foot, you're lifting the ball of the left foot, placing the foot in the palm of the left hand, really pressing down through the balls of the feet. So keeping your gaze back between the knees. And the next inhale, you're going to see if you can lengthen those legs. So drawing those sit bones up towards the ceiling. And you should get a nice shoulder stretch here as well as a hamstring stretch. Next exhale, just bring a nice deep bend back in the knees just to release. And we'll do that one more time. As you inhale, pushing into the balls of the feet, straightening the legs. And bring your gaze back between the knees. As we exhale, bending those knees, just releasing one hand at a time. Coming up into your half lift. So placing the hands onto the shins here. Find that nice length in the spine now. So sit bones are pushing out towards the back wall, crown of the head out towards the front, and you're looking down at the floor. As you exhale, bending the knees, coming back into your forward fold, drawing the forehead towards the knees. And as you inhale, bringing fingertips all the way to sky. Bring your gaze between the thumbs. If you can lift up out of the ankles, out of the hips. And then bringing the palms of the hands together and exhaling down to heart center. We'll take 2 breaths here. Lovely. Releasing the hands alongside the body now, coming into Tadasana, your mountain pose. So just grounding through all 4 corners of the feet. Maybe just lifting the toes and then placing the toes back down. Next, inhale, bringing fingertips to sky. Exhaling down into your forward fold, knees bent. Inhaling up into your half lift. Exhaling down into your forward fold. And then you're going to walk the hands forward, coming into your downward facing dog again. So just taking a moment here just to get your alignment, making sure the feet are hip distance apart. And next inhale, lifting that right heel to sky, coming into your 3-legged dog. You're flexing that right foot, toes pointing down towards the earth. You're going to bend that right knee and draw that right foot forward. Coming into your first low lunge. So releasing that left knee down, top of the left foot. Keeping the fingertips on the mat for the moment and beginning to draw that chest forward. You're sliding those shoulder blades down the back. Just noticing how those hips are feeling today. You're taking some nice deep belly breaths. And the next inhale, going to bring fingertips to sky, drawing the arms alongside the ears, palms facing towards each other. Take a nice deep inhale as you're reaching up through the fingertips. And then bringing the palms of the hands together and exhaling down to heart center. We're going to release the arms alongside, palms facing forward, creating that little space between the armpits. That 2 more times with our prayer hands. So inhaling, fingertips to sky, palms of the hands together, exhaling down to heart center. So just coordinating our movements with our breath. Releasing the arms, inhaling, fingertips to sky, palms of the hands together, exhaling down to heart center. Taking another nice deep inhale. And as we exhale, I'm going to turn to our right this time. Coming into our first low lunge twist. As we exhale, coming back to our center. Doing that 2 more times. Turning to the right as we exhale. Inhaling back to center. One last time, we're going to exhale to the right and pause this time. We're going to release that right hand down towards the back leg. Inhaling, left fingertips to sky. So keeping your gaze up at that left thumb. Doesn't matter if that back hand doesn't come all the way down. As you exhale, bringing that left hand down, right fingertips to sky. And then tucking the toes under on the back foot and releasing that left knee, coming into your high lunge twist. So pushing out through that left heel. And as you exhale, releasing the left knee and the hand down to the floor and stepping all the way back into your downward facing dog. Taking a couple of breaths here. And then we'll make our way to our first slow vinyasa. So we're going to inhale to draw the shoulders forward over the wrists, coming into your high plank, pushing out through the heels, out through the crown of the head. Remembering you have the option to release the knees into your half plank. Just taking a couple of breaths here. With the exhale, we're all going to release the knees down into our half plank. Bend the elbows, chin and chest down to the floor. So keeping those hips lifted. And as you inhale, you're pushing through into your baby cobra. So keeping those elbows hugging into the rib cage. Pressing the tops of the feet down into the earth. And just feel like you're grounding down through those hip bones. And tucking the toes under. We're going to push all the way back into our downward facing dog. Just taking a couple of breaths. Next inhale now, we're going to lift that left heel to the sky, three-legged dog. Bend that left knee and draw that left foot forward. So releasing that right knee down, top of the right foot down, making sure that left knee is above the left ankle. And keeping the fingertips on the ground, you're going to draw the chest forward. Sliding those shoulder blades down the back. Nice deep belly breaths. And just checking in with how those hips are feeling. Next inhale, bringing fingertips to sky, arms alongside the ears. Take a nice deep inhale as you reach up, and then bringing the palms of the hands together and exhaling down to heart center. Releasing the arms by the side, palms facing forward. With that 2 more times. Inhaling, fingertips to sky, palms of the hands together, exhaling down to heart center. One last time. Inhaling to sky, exhaling to heart center. Taking another inhale here. And as we exhale, we're going to turn to our left. Inhaling to come back to center. 2 more times, you're going to exhale to the left. Inhale to center. And exhale to the left. Holding here this time. Just releasing that left hand down towards the back leg. Inhaling, fingertips on the right hand up to sky. So bring your gaze to that right thumb. As you exhale, bringing that right hand down. Inhaling, left fingertips to sky. So keeping your gaze, your drishti on that left thumb. And then tucking the toes under, you're going to release that right knee. Coming into your high lunge twist. And as you exhale, releasing that left hand down. Stepping that right foot forward. Coming back into your forward fold. So nice generous bend in the knees. Inhaling up into your half lift. Exhaling back down into your forward fold. Inhaling, fingertips to sky. Bring your gaze to the thumbs. Palms of the hands together. Exhaling down to heart center. Taking 2 breaths here. Releasing the arms alongside the body, coming back into Tadasana. Next inhale, bringing fingertips to sky. Exhaling down into your forward fold, knees bent. Inhaling up into your half lift. Exhaling back down into your forward fold. You're going to set that left foot to the back of the mat. Inhale, fingertips to sky. So keeping a nice deep bend in that right knee. Coming into our warrior one. So that back foot can be at about a 45-degree angle. And I want you to here to see if you can draw that right hip back and that left hip forward. So we're squaring the hip to the front of the room. In a nice deep inhale as you reach up through the fingertips. Bring the palms of the hands together. Exhaling down to heart center. With that 2 more times. Inhaling, fingertips to sky. Palms of the hands together. Exhaling down to heart center. One last time. And then releasing the hands. You're going to straighten that right leg now. You might want to set that left foot in a little closer. We're going to come into our pyramid pose. So bringing the arms behind the back and just taking hold of the opposite elbow. That both legs are straight here. That back foot still in a 45-degree angle. And again, you're drawing that right hip back and that left hip forward. As you inhale, you come into a little bit of a back bend here, just bringing your gaze up to the sky. And as you exhale, you're going to hinge forward. So drawing that chest forward and then bringing the forehead down towards that right knee. So you can have a little micro bend in that right knee if you like, if it's pulling too much on the back of that knee. As you inhale, coming all the way back to center. For that 2 more times. So inhaling to look up, exhaling to hinge and fold forward. So our pyramid pose is testing our balance as well. Inhaling to come up. This is our last time as we exhale to hinge at the hips. And then inhaling to come all the way back. Lovely. Bringing that deep bend back into that right knee again. Stepping a little wider if you like. Coming back into your warrior 2 now. Sorry, back into your warrior 1. So bringing fingertips to sky, arms alongside the ears. So again, drawing that right hip back, that left hip forward in our warrior 1. As we exhale, we're going to draw that left hip back, bringing the arms down in line with the shoulders. So coming into our warrior 2 here. So our warrior poses are our strength poses, building a little heat in the body. And this time we have our dristi, our gazing point along that middle finger of the right hand. Lovely. We're going to bring that right palm to face the sky. As we inhale, right fingertips, we're straightening that right leg, bringing that left hand onto the back leg. This is our reverse triangle. And as we exhale, we're going to keep the legs as they are, but just draw the arms in line with the shoulders. We're going to exhale to reach out through those fingertips, bringing the back of the hand onto the inside of the right shin, left fingertips to sky. If you've no neck issues, just bring your gaze up to that left thumb. Again, we're challenging our balance a little bit here in our triangle pose. And as you inhale, coming all the way back up to center, bringing that bend back into the knee, back into our warrior 2. We're going to exhale to windmill the hands down and step all the way back into your downward facing dog. Just taking a couple of breaths here. And in your own time, we're going to slowly make our way through our vinyasa. So just drawing the shoulders forward over the wrists. Exhaling the knees down. Bending the elbows, chin and chest down to the floor. Inhale up into our cobra. Maybe coming a little bit higher this time. And as you exhale, tucking the toes under, pushing all the way back into your downward facing dog. And just taking a couple of breaths here. That same sequence on the other side now. It's going to inhale that left heel to sky. 3-legged dog. We're going to bend that left knee. Draw that left foot forward. You're bringing that back foot down. Inhaling fingertips to sky. Drawing that left hip back, that right hip forward. And with the feet, you want to feel like you're tearing that mat apart, so pushing the feet away from each other. I'm going to bring the palms of the hands together, exhaling down to heart center. Doing that 2 more times as you release the hands, inhaling fingertips to sky. Exhale into heart center. One last time. Lovely. We're going to straighten that left leg now. Bring the hands behind, taking hold of the opposite elbow. Again, if you want to set that back foot in a little closer for your pyramid pose. We're drawing that left hip back and that right hip forward. As you inhale, bringing your gaze to the sky, come into your back bend. And as you exhale, you're hinging at the hips, drawing that chest forward, bringing the forehead down towards the knee. Inhaling to come all the way back to center. Doing that 2 more times. As you exhale, hinging at the hips, drawing the chest forward, bringing that forehead towards the knee. And as you inhale, you're pushing into the feet, pushing those feet away from each other, lifting the gaze towards the ceiling, coming into your mini back bend. And as you exhale one last time, hinge at the hips, forehead all the way down. And then inhaling to come back up. So I'm going to release the elbows, bring a nice deep bend into that left knee again. Inhaling, fingertips to sky. Going back into your warrior one. As you exhale, you're going to pull that right hip back. Draw those arms in line with the shoulders. Coming into your warrior two. The feet stay exactly where they are. We're just drawing that right hip back. Lovely. We're going to bring that left palm to sky now. As we inhale, fingertips to sky. Straighten that left leg. Reverse Trikonasana. And bring that back hand to rest on the back leg. As you exhale, keeping the legs straight, but bringing the arms in line with the shoulders. Taking an inhale. And as you exhale, reaching out through those fingertips. Bringing the back of the left hand onto the inside of the shin. Right fingertips to sky. Back into our Trikonasana. So again, any neck issues, you just keep your gaze ahead. If your neck's okay, your balance is okay, bring your gaze up to that right thumb. So we're always choosing something to focus our gaze on in our yoga practice. And as we inhale, coming all the way back up to center, nice deep bend in that left knee, warrior two. We're going to windmill the hands down to the earth and step all the way back into your downward facing dog. Just taking a couple of breaths here. Then you have the option to either come through your vinyasa, or you can rest in your down dog or your child's pose. You can just come through your vinyasa at your own time. I've taken this opportunity just to reset the spine. And if you're in your down dog or child's pose, just taking a couple of restful breaths here. So we do that same sequence again on each side, but we're just going to add a little bit extra to the end of it. So inhaling that right heel to sky, three-legged dog, bending that right knee, drawing that right foot forward. So stepping that back foot down at a 45-degree angle, keeping that right knee bent, fingertips to sky, warrior one. Drawing that right hip back. Palms of the hands together, exhaling down to heart. One more time, we'll release the hands, inhaling fingertips to sky, exhaling down to heart center. And then releasing the hands, just straightening that right leg. If you want, you can set that back foot in a little closer. Bringing the arms behind the back, taking hold of the opposite elbow. So drawing that right hip back, that left hip forward. Inhaling to bring our gaze to the sky. And as we exhale, we're hinging at the hips. Drawing that chest forward. Coming down into our pyramid pose. As we inhale, coming all the way back to center. Nice, slow, controlled movements. With that one more time. Exhaling to hinge at the hips. Inhaling to come all the way back to center. Releasing the elbows, Bringing that deep bend into the knee. Again, you might want to bring that stance a little bit wider again. Coming back into your warrior one. Nice deep inhale as you reach up through the fingertips. And as you exhale, you're drawing, sorry, we're going to bring the palms of the hands together. Exhaling down to heart center. Releasing the hands over that one last time. Inhaling, fingertips to sky. Exhaling to heart center. Releasing the hands, inhaling fingertips back to sky. And this time as we exhale, we're drawing that left hip back, bringing those arms in line with the shoulders, palms face down, warrior two. Bringing that right palm to sky, you're gonna inhale to straighten that right leg. Bringing that back hand onto the back leg. And as you exhale, keeping the legs straight, reaching out to those right fingertips. Bringing the back of the right hand to the inside of the right shin. Left fingertips to sky. And then inhaling all the way back to center. Nice deep bend in that right knee. Coming back into our warrior one. So we're going to pivot now onto the ball of that left foot. And as we exhale, we're releasing that left knee down to the ground. So back into our lower lunge here. Bringing the palms of the hands together. Exhaling down to heart center. Taking another nice deep inhale. And as we exhale, we're going to turn to our right. Releasing that back hand down onto the leg. Left fingertips to sky. So bring your gaze up to that left thumb. Exhaling to release that left hand down. Right fingertips to sky. Into our low lunge twist here. We're going to tuck the toes under, release that left knee, and into our high lunge twist. Now a little bit different here. We're going to bend that right elbow, bring it above the right knee, and pivot that left foot down to the floor. So coming into our extended side angle pose, drawing that left arm in line with the left ear, palm face down. The edge of the left foot is parallel to the edge of the mat, and you're really pressing down to that outside edge of the left foot. Stretching along the left side body all the way up to the left fingertips. And as you inhale, going to come up into your warrior two. Bring your gaze on that middle finger. Bringing that palm of the hand to face towards the ceiling as you inhale to straighten that right leg. Reverse Trikonasana. This time we're going to lift the ball of the right foot, pivot on that right heel, and just make sure that the big toes are pointed in towards each other. So the heels are wider than the big toes. Lovely. Bringing that left hand onto the left hip. As you inhale, you're reaching up to those right fingertips. And as you exhale, you're hinging at the hips, coming into your forward fold. So bringing that right hand all the way down to the earth. And then you're going to release that left hand up to sky, coming into your wide-legged twist. Bringing that gaze back up towards that left thumb. As you exhale, releasing that left hand down, and bring your gaze back between the legs. It's a bit like our ragdoll position. You want the whole of the upper body to be nice and heavy, nice and relaxed. Again, you can nod or shake the head just to make sure you're not holding any tension in the neck. We're going to bring the hands onto the hips, slowly pushing into the feet as you begin to come all the way back up to center. Nice, slow, controlled movements. Just taking a moment just to draw that breath back down to the belly. We're going to bring the hands behind the back this time and interlace the fingers. We're doing another shoulder stretch here. We're going to push down to the hands. So you're drawing those shoulder blades towards each other, finding that space in the chest. And as you exhale, you're hinging at the hips. Bringing the crown of the head down towards the earth, allowing the hands to float up towards the sky. Just taking a couple of breaths here. As you inhale, coming all the way back up to center. Pushing into those heels, nice slow control movements. And then releasing the hands. Just telling that right foot to point towards the top of the mat now, bringing that nice deep bend into the right knee. Fingertips to sky, back into our warrior one. And as we exhale, releasing the hands down, stepping all the way back into your downward facing dog. Just taking a couple of breaths here. Again, you have the option to either come through your vinyasa at your own pace now, or you can rest in your child's pose or your downward facing dog. Just choosing what feels right for you. And then whether you're in your down dog or your child's pose, just taking a couple of restful breaths here. Do that sequence one last time now on the left side. So in your own time, just making your way back into your downward facing dog. Next inhale, we're lifting that left heel to sky, bending that left knee and drawing that left foot forward. Bringing that right foot down, inhaling fingertips to sky, drawing that left hip back, that right hip forward. Palms of the hands together, exhaling down to heart center. Releasing the hands, we'll do that one more time. Inhaling fingertips to sky, exhaling down to heart center. And then releasing the hands behind the back, taking hold of the opposite elbow, stepping that back foot in a little closer. Straightening that left leg, drawing that left hip back and that right hip forward. And as you inhale, bring your gaze to the sky. And as you exhale, hinge at the hips. Drawing that forehead down towards the knee, back into your pyramid pose. Next inhale, pushing the feet away as you inhale to lift. Drawing your gaze to the sky. One last time, we're going to exhale. Fold at the hips, bringing the forehead towards that left knee. And as you inhale, coming all the way back to center. Releasing the elbows, bringing that deep bend back into the left knee, maybe widening that stance back into your warrior one. Bringing palms of the hands together, exhaling down to heart center. Inhaling fingertips to sky. And as you exhale, drawing that right hip back, going into your warrior two. Your gaze on that middle finger of the left hand. And then bringing that left palm to sky as you straighten the left leg. Reverse Trikonasana. And as you exhale, coming forward into your Trikonasana. Bringing the back of that left hand onto the inside of the left shin. Right fingertips to sky. Inhaling to come all the way back up. Nice deep bend in that left knee. And then as we inhale, bringing the arms up alongside the ears, drawing that left hip back into your warrior one. And we're going to pivot onto the ball of the right foot into our high lunge. Releasing that knee down into your low lunge. Taking a nice deep inhale as you reach up through the fingertips, bringing the palms of the hands together, exhaling down to heart center. You're going to turn to your left, release that left hand down, right fingertips to sky, bring your gaze to that right thumb. And as you exhale, bringing that right hand down, left fingertips to sky, low lunge twist. You're going to tuck the toes under on that back foot as you release that right knee, high lunge twist. And then you're going to bend that left elbow, bringing it above the left knee as you pivot that right foot down onto the floor, bringing that right arm in line with the right ear into our extended side angle pose. Just making sure that right foot, the edge of it is parallel to the back of the mat. And you're pressing down into the outside edge of that right foot. As you inhale, you're going to come all the way up into your warrior two. Bringing that left palm to sky as you inhale to straighten that left leg, reverse Trikonasana. You're going to lift the ball of that left foot, pivot that left foot in towards the right. So the toes, big toes are pointing towards each other. Bringing that right hand onto the right hip. And as you exhale, you're hinging forward. Bringing that left hand all the way down into your forward fold. Going to inhale those right fingertips up to sky. Coming into your forward fold twist. And as you exhale, releasing the hands all the way down. Bringing that gaze back between the legs. So back into our forward fold. Just allowing the whole of the upper body just to hang nice and heavy. And then just bringing the hands back onto the hips. Beginning to push into the heels. Nice, slow, control movements as you come back to your center. Taking a moment to pause at the top. Taking that breath all the way down to the belly. We're going to bring the hands behind the back this time. And just interlace the fingers. So you're pushing down through the hands, drawing those shoulder blades towards each other. As you exhale, hinging at the hips, drawing that chest forward, bringing that gaze back between the legs, allowing the hands to float up towards the sky. Taking a couple of breaths here. Again, you can nod or shake the head just to make sure you're not holding any tension in the neck. And as you inhale, beginning to push into the soles of the feet. Nice, slow, controlled movements come all the way back up to center. In a moment to pause here. Taking that breath all the way down to the belly. And you're going to pivot that left foot out. Nice deep bend in that left knee. Coming back into your warrior one. Drawing that left hip back. And as you exhale, releasing the hands down. Stepping all the way back into your downward facing dog. So it's up to you now if you come into your final vinyasa, or you can rest in your down dog or your child's pose. So as always, just doing what's right for your body. If you're in your downward facing dog, just taking any last movements or stretches that feel good. And then we're all going to release the knees down to the mat, and we're going to come into a variation of our child's pose. So we're going to come into our wide-legged child's pose twist. So just bringing the big toes together and bringing the knees out to the edges of the mat. So you're sitting the hips back over the heels, big toes together, and then walking the hands forward. So keeping those hips back over the heels. You're going to bring the back of that right hand onto the mat and just thread it underneath that left armpit. So you're bringing that right ear, the right side of the face, just to rest on the ground. If that feels uncomfortable, you can just bring a little pillow underneath the head. Just gently closing the eyes down. Taking a couple of nice deep breaths. Next inhale is press into that left palm, lifting the side of the head, and just bringing that right hand forward. So do that on the other side now. So just bringing the back of that left hand onto the mat and threading it underneath the right armpit. Bringing that left ear, the left side of the face to rest on the ground. Or if you need, just bringing it to rest on a cushion. Taking 2 more breaths here. Next inhale, just releasing that left shoulder, bringing the hand onto the floor and just walking the hands back. And just gently bringing the knees back together, still sitting back on the heels. We'll do one last thing for our shoulders. So I'm going to do 3 shoulder shrugs here. Just bringing the hands either side of the body. The next inhale, just drawing the shoulders all the way up to the bottom of the ears. And on the exhale, just sighing out through the mouth. Doing that 2 more times. A nice deep inhale. One last time. Lovely. Just slowly making your way down now onto your back body. Just coming to bring the knees, just bending the knees, bringing the soles of the feet onto the floor, and just releasing the whole of the back body onto the ground. I'm just going to hug those knees into the chest and just keep one hand on each knee. You'll draw some gentle hip circles just to release the hips. On the inhale, you're keeping the knees together, drawing them into the chest. And on the exhale, drawing the knees apart and then bringing them all the way back together in the center. Just nice and gentle, just helping to ease out those hips. And then bringing those circles in the opposite direction. And then just slowly releasing the soles of the feet down to the earth. We're going to finish with our Supta Baddha Konasana, which is our reclined bound angle pose. So what we're going to do here is just allow the knees to fall away to the sides, and you're just bringing the soles of the feet together. So bringing the soles of the feet together and just allowing the knees to fall out to the side. So we're targeting the inner thighs here. And you can either bring the backs of the hands to rest on the ground, palms face up, or you can place the palms of the hands on the belly. And just gently closing the eyes down. Just tuning into those sensations. Just taking 2 more deep breaths. And when you're ready to come out of the pose, just bringing the palms of the hands to the backs of the thighs and just gently guiding the knees back to center. Just taking a moment to pause here. Quite a strong pose for the inner thighs. The next inhale, you're going to hug the knees into the chest and just gently rock from side to side, just to ease out the lower back. And if it feels nice, you can draw some hip circles again, just to release the hips. So just doing what feels good for you. And then when you're ready, you can slowly release the soles of the feet back down to the earth. Just lengthen out through the legs. And just get yourselves nice and comfy, nice and cozy for your final relaxation pose of Shavasana. Allowing the feet to fall away to the sides. You either have the hands resting on the body or just bring the backs of the hands to rest on the ground. Just beginning to let go of your practice now. Letting go of the breath. And just surrendering to your Shavasana. And then just slowly beginning to come back to the space. Becoming aware of the sounds around you. And beginning to bring some gentle movements back into the body. Bringing the arms up overhead into a full body stretch. And slowly beginning to bend the knees, giving the knees a nice hug into the chest. And just coming to lie on one side for a restful breath here. And in your own time, keeping the eyes closed, slowly making your way back to a seated position. We're going to bring the palms of the hands together at heart center into our Anjali Mudra. We'll finish with 3 deep inhales through the nose, exhale out through the mouth. A nice deep inhale. A nice deep inhale. And one last inhale. And just taking a moment just to check back in with yourselves, noticing how your body's feeling, how the breath is, and how the mind is. And thanking ourselves for showing up for our practice today. Namaste. Thanks, everyone. I hope you have happy shoulders after that class.
Very happy shoulders. Thank you very much for that.
Great,
And
thanks.
looking forward to seeing you next week.
Brilliant, yeah, in
I won't be
person.
able to participate though, because we need to save the spaces for members, but I'll be watching from a safe distance.
Okay, great.
It kind of sounds creepy when I say it out loud, but in a good way, okay?
Okay, brilliant. Thanks, Ronan.
All right, thank you very much.
Thanks,
See you,
everyone.
Sarah. Chat to you
Bye.
later, guys. Bye.